Mary Jean, whenever you're ready.
We're ready.
Good morning, it's 9 o'clock, August 22nd, 2022, and our regular Commissioners Court meeting is now in session. First item on the agenda is roll call by our County Clerk, Mary Jane Godal. Mary Jane, good morning.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Judge Rathmel.
Present.
Commissioner Mendoza.
Present.
Commissioner Elizondo.
Present.
Commissioner Solis.
Present.
And Commissioner Garza.
Present.
We have a quorum, Judge.
Thank you, Mary Jane. Next item is our invocation by Dr. Roger Miller, Commissioners Court Chaplain. Dr. Miller, good morning, sir.
Commissioners. If you bow your heads with me this morning as we begin our time together. Our Father, Creator of all, we come together today first seeking to honor and thank you for all of your provisions and blessings that we've received. Let us first resolve to be thankful people above all else. Let gratitude be our underlying foundation for life as we acknowledge you today. So, Father, we assemble here today, preparing our thoughts and organizing our agendas to undertake the business of governing and providing for the people of Zapata County. Today, Father, we come fully prepared and fully needing your grace and your strength for the decisions before this court. May we know without question that you are here among us to provide our judge, our commissioners, and our court members with all that they need to accomplish the tasks before them. May they be assured of your desire to provide for their every need in this time. Increase their confidence in their decisions today. Expand their understanding of the present issues, and deepen their compassion for service to the people as our leaders and of this community. And prepare them to see this day the matters before them as an opportunity to experience your presence. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item, Commissioner, is communications. We would like to share a report. I think, well, last week, the congressman was in town last Monday, came into, and he was accompanied by IBWC officials, and we're trying to see how the dredging of especially Sister Shore's waterworks, when that would commence. There was some equipment that was brought down, government equipment, IBWC equipment that will be used to better allow the Sister Waterworks access to the waters of Falcon Lake. Since then, I think we received quite a bit of rain upstream, and the lake did go up a few feet. It's not enough. I noticed this morning there at the river, our raw water intake the river is really low. I think those 3 feet did not sufficiently increase the lake levels to help our waterworks, but I think Sister Shore is a little bit better off, is my understanding. Speaking with the congressman and officials from IBWC, there are some permitting processes that need to be done before the dredging will begin. I think that should take 3 to 4 weeks, so I anticipate sometime in September, equipment will be working on the lake and trying to just make it better for the residents of the shores to get access to the lake. Morning, Karen.
Good morning. I wasn't gonna let you bypass me this time.
Okay, so, okay, public comment or communications or what do we got?
2 reports.
A report,
Yeah, 2 reports.
okay,
First one is on the fireworks.
okay. Thank you, Karen.
For the 4th of July?
Yes.
I was in Austin, just playing my kids loved it.
You were short.
Still loved it.
Good.
I'll give you mine after I finish. Don't forget.
Okay, so, Karen, so this is a report on the fireworks display for the 4th of July,
Yes.
okay?
Essence, I received $2,000 from Commissioners Court, and it was $2,000.32.
That's what was spent, yes. Very well.
Real close there. I would like for you guys to consider giving me a little more this next year.
So how many minutes is this allowed?
15.
15 minutes?
Because the fireworks went up. Yes.
And before we would have at least 20 minutes worth of, before the price increase?
20 or 30. I
Or
think
20 or
sometimes
30.
it was 30, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So,
whether-
so the price is doubled on the fireworks?
Oh, yes, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll consider that. We're gonna have some hearings in the next few weeks, so, we'll bring that up for
Okay.
consideration.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Now, my next report.
Am I next on top of the prices?
This is a report on the Zapata County Convention and Visitors Bureau. If you look at the last page, that's the last report I have given. And I continued it from that point to current. And it shows that right now we have an ending balance of $4,156.73.
How much was allocated this year? Was any allocated to the $500?
That's what we've been getting the last several years.
So the rest of it is mainly donations and,
Well, we had, of course, our membership that we had has kept rolled over, and that's separate, that's why I listed
Right.
it separately. I guess I told you wrong, the combined accounts are 4306.73.
okay.
And we're trying, right now, we're trying to work on bringing something like, maybe like bands, you know, doing a
Okay.
thing, so,
Like
we're
a
trying
festival,
to-
a music festival?
Yes, that's what we're trying to think about doing. You know,
Right.
maybe with just the local talent,
Right.
but yeah, bring it in. Because according to the Convention and Visitors Bureau, when I advertise in my papers, there's no charge, because I can't. But I can go to the Laredo Morning Times and Alice and advertise, which we did before when we had radio.
Okay. So, yeah, so you're planning those type of events for this coming year? I know hopefully the lake will come up and we can do some more fishing tournaments. I think there was one plan, I'm not sure if it's gonna, be realized due to the lake levels. I know there was one plan for October.
Yes.
But I haven't heard from the group if they're gonna be able to make it down.
I haven't talked to James, and usually I do for the big fish at the fishing tournaments.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, I can see that most of it was for fishing tournaments.
Any other questions?
Thank you, Karen.
You're welcome.
It's good that you're in the black. That you kept following.
I don't know what I'd do if I was in the red. The bank might be coming after me.
All right. We'll move on to public comment. Oh, any other communications, commissioners? I don't know anything else going on. I guess we all have, kind of brought that up, budget hearings, our first budget hearings this week, so, we'll be working on our budget. Offhand, I don't remember anything else. Oh, yes, I've got COVID numbers, thank you, Commissioner.
When school started, you're probably gonna see the COVID numbers stronger than that.
I had them with me this morning. Here they are. Well, since the last report, which was on the 8th of August, we've had an increase of confirmed 23 cases, so we're up to 2,528. Probable cases went up 48 in those 2 weeks, from up to 1,544, and no more deaths have been reported in our area. So, and I think we all realize a lot of cases now with home kits are not being confirmed, but so I know there's here in the county, of course, we hear of county employees, and the virus still is affecting especially our workforce. So I know it's in town, so we'll continue to stay on top of that. We'll move on to public comment. This section provides the public the opportunity to address the Commissioner's Court on any items on the agenda. Members of the public wish to address the court at this time. If not, we'll move on to item number 6, approval of invoices. In your packets, we had invoices from August the 5th, 2022 through August the 18th, 2022 for a total of $1,274,646.08. Motion by Commissioner Solis to approve invoices as presented, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 7 is approval of checks issued, and checks issued we had from 8/5/2022 through 8/18/2022, and we've got a total of $1,274,646.08.
Motion moved.
Motion by Commissioner Gasa to approve checks issued as presented, seconded by Commissioner Solis. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 8, approval of minutes up there, Jenny.
I have them through June 27th. I have a pen drive for Roxy.
So we'll approve those.
You can approve them now if you want.
Yeah, motion to approve the minutes through June 27th.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve the minutes up to June
27th.
27th, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We'll move on to the action items. We'll deliberate and consider action on item number 9 is a report on RAM nutrition services for the USDA, the Child Adult Care Food Program, and to allow the use of county facilities for program implementation. Sure. Hernandez here this morning. Well, I know that we've been partnering with RAM Nutritional Services. I think we'll wait for to see if he comes back, if he comes in and makes a meal. I'll recall this.
I know that they're serving San Ignacio as well.
Yeah, it started with the, with the beginning of school.
And it's a big help.
I wanna make sure that, I did have a conversation with the nutrition center director, and of course, we share, we allow them to use basically our kitchen, to prepare the meals. And then, some of the facilities, Ms. Laura, which facilities are they using? Are they indoors at the pavilion?
San Ignacio, they're using the library.
In St. Ignacio, you're using the library, okay. I think.
Serve, not for preparing the meals there. We pick them up and we just serve them to the kids there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's a program, like a good program, after school program. I think we just need to make sure that, I told Mr. Hernandez last week after I spoke with him that, we needed, to develop an agreement, a written agreement between him and his agency. I think, there are some concerns with the space available in our kitchen. I think early on, and then I think it's been going for quite a few years now, we urged or asked Mr. Hernandez to see if he could find a permanent solution to his food preparation, because the nutrition center there is very tightly spaced, and even though we've been, the court has been very generous in allowing him to use it, I think we need to move forward and see how he can find his own place to prepare his meals. There are some concerns there with liability issues and stuff, so I think moving forward, I want to establish an agreement with him on exactly the length of period he'll be using our facilities, what exactly he expects from us, and vice versa. But as the commissioner said, it is something that helps our community, helps our with the meals. I did want to ask him how many meals he'll be preparing and how many sites. Hopefully he'll come in and I'll recall it, but we'll wait to see if he comes in and we can recall this item. Item number 10 is to accept Commissioner Jose Solis' decision to decline appointment to the Border Region Behavioral Health Center Board of Directors and to appoint Ms. Mary Plattner to serve as a county representative on the Board of Region Behavioral Health Center Board.
Judge and Commissioners, I really want to thank you guys for nominating me last court. I am currently on the board of the appraisal district, and I am seeking to join the Boys and Girls Club board as well. So as of today, I will respectfully decline, but I want to thank you guys, for nominating me last court.
And
Thank-
did you speak to Ms. Mary?
Yes, Ms. Plattner is ready to serve the county in any capacity like she has for all her career. And I can't think of a better person to represent the county than Ms. Plattner. I think moving forward, I think this position or this director position should be a position, a member of the medical field, and they'll be able to make decisions for the entire community based on experience, knowledge on their medical profession. So Ms. Plattner did agree to serve, and I make a motion to appoint Ms. Mary Plattner. Is there a second? No second? Yes or no? Yes. A second by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
So there's 3, aye, 4, unanimous. Okay. And I thank Ms. Plattner for allowing me to serve. Item number 11 is to discuss the safety and upgrade of the shooting range. Ms.
Yes, Judge, I put that on the agenda because I had several calls that they were concerned that now with all these high-power rifles that the National Guard are using at the shooting range, that they feel that, I don't know what they're called, I talked to Sheriff,
The berm?
the burn, yeah, that they wanted to pick them up, to make them higher. Cause they feel like now with those power rifles that they're using, that we need to upgrade it.
What power rifles are they using right now?
Because I don't know, they said that now the people that live around there, that they can hear that now that they're using more.
I think that the landowner at the back of the shooting range has called me on several occasions with concerns that from time to time when he's out on his ranch, he will hear bullets whizzing by. And so I've talked to the sheriff on several occasions about.
We have made the approach to go speak to him. We have checked the ranch. I went personally along with the chief and other members of my office. Everything that's over there on that side of the ranch is old lead when it was first made, when we switched the berm to that side. But we can look into it and try to fix it if Commissioner Elizondo is gonna assist us in upgrading it in the Commissioner's Court.
Sure, yeah, we just need to raise maybe the height of the berm.
Yeah, I think they will feel safer and we can just raise it up a little bit higher.
One thing that I have been looking into is getting a company that could siphon the dirt and everything and move the lead out of the berm and make it safer, because there's a lot of lead throughout the years there.
Sheriff,
And
how
it's
about the fencing?
the fencing, I mean, if there's funds, we can fence it.
Well, it is fenced.
Yes, it is fenced.
Yeah.
And it's been well kept by all the agencies, federal and state. Everybody has used it to work, exercise, and qualify quarterly, so. But we'll look into it, Judge.
Yeah.
We'll speak to the landowner.
Just for the public to know, the shooting range is strictly for law enforcement. It's
Yes.
not open to the public, so it's strictly for law
And I
enforcement.
have told the sheriff that whatever he needs, that he can, just let us know and we can help out.
So how many feet are we looking to raise it? What would you recommend, sir?
I would say about maybe 6 to 8 more feet.
6 to 8 more feet?
Yeah, just so everybody can be safe. Just so we can be okay with the landowners, if they feel that they are
Danger.
hearing bullets fly by, it was by.
Yeah, buzzing by, that's the term he used, that they were.
So, but yes, we'll look into it, and I'll talk to other agencies, see what everybody can do their part.
Thank you, Sheriff. So, no action, Commissioner, but we'll be working on it.
Yes, yeah. I'll probably be going with the sheriff just to look at the fencing and all that, because I know the fencing, they had said it was kind of a problem, that it's falling or.
There's gonna be plenty of material, dirt, Commissioners, from the dredging, project.
Yes.
So maybe some of that dirt can be moved over and utilized, to build up the berm. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so no action on item number 11. Mr. Hernandez, 9, I saw him walk in. Yes, I'll recall, it's a report on Rand Nutrition Services. for the USDA Child Adult Care Food Program and to allow the continued use of county facilities for program implementation. Mr. Hernandez, good morning.
Good morning.
I guess back to school and you kicked off your program once again.
Yes, sir. We started, first day of school, so we've been at it already for a week. We've been utilizing the community center, in Pacuan, Lopeño, and, of course, at the church in Siesta Shores, and of course, the pavilion and San Ignacio. So, I know that we discussed the
You said,
kitchen.
right,
The
yes,
use of the
I
kitchen.
mentioned that before, Kim, that we had discussed the use of the kitchen and how tight the space there, according to our director, you know, and I think we've housed you since the inception of the program, so.
We started it with Zapata.
Yes.
Yes, sir. The goal was at the beginning of 2018 was to be self-sustained with the kitchen, which is something that the judge and I had talked about. But it didn't manifest for the mere fact is that I had a lot of people that put out misinformation, called USDA and put out some more misinformation to where I had to defend myself. And the whole goal was, when they put out this misinformation, was that Zapata County was gonna be the main site, meaning that all the funds were coming back to Zapata County. So had that happened, we were either gonna be able to work with Ms. Rosie back then or find a location for us. But because of the misinformation that these individuals did, and some of them are in here in this building.
Well, I think we can
Yes,
move beyond whatever he thinks was misinformation. I think,
Well-
we wanna know the state of your program.
The state of the program is just steady state. We haven't grown yet. Pandemic hit all of us, as you can tell, and we're trying to pick up the pieces after that.
How many kids did you, I guess, participate in your program this week? I think the public would like to know what we're helping, how we're helping, and,
I'll start with the pavilion. We're estimating about maybe 12,000 for the year, starting off.
yes, but how many did you have?
Oh, we're serving 50.
50 a day, okay,
Yes.
well, that's quite a
Yes.
significant amount for,
And then, Iglesia, Nuevo Impacto is also serving 60. Falcon Learning Center is serving, 35. Lopeño is serving 30. And the community center, we started off, back in the day at 50, and we're steady state at 50.
okay,
San Ignacio.
I'm sorry, San Ignacio.
San Ignacio.
Yes.
yes. So, and are these, curbside, or do they, how do the children eat their meals, or?
Right now, we're pending USDA to do grab and goes because of the pandemic picking up again. So we're waiting to see what they're gonna say. We're gonna submit the waivers so that it'll be grab and go again. Right now, we're just waiting on.
So, but currently, they're sit-down meals?
Yes,
Currently,
for the meantime.
yes, okay, that's fine.
Yes, sir. And as far as for the community center, I talked to Ms. Berta,
The nutrition center?
nutrition center, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ms. Berta Lopez is our director.
Yes.
Okay.
I talked to her and we war gamed some stuff there at the center. There's some things that I can do to help out. I know that they had not broken, I'm sorry, like the can opener had already, we've had that since we started. There's this big machine that they need as a mixture. I'm looking for, some donors. And then the big deal was expanding the, facility. And, we came down maybe with about 120,000. But she said that she was also looking to get a walk-in refrigerator. So, yeah, to put it side to side. So with your permission and permission from Commissioner Mendoza, because it is in this precinct, I'm able to reach out to maybe some big donors that I knew back in the day to see if they're willing to help us out with donations to put that in play with the nutrition center.
No, I mean, certainly, any improvements to our centers would be good. I think, I think we need to make sure that, I think moving forward, we have some language, some agreements. I think this is kind of work on a handshake agreement.
Yes, Ms. Berta did she send you the information?
No, not yet.
Okay, yes, we talked
Yeah, I
about
did
that.
ask her to meet with you and see, I'm sure you do work in other communities, what type of agreements you have, with any, public entities, and see how we can, come to a written agreement, and that the court can approve, and, just to protect, I think, both of our programs, the county and your program.
That's fine, sir. We have no issues. We still, we rotate on the natural gas.
Yeah, any of those items that you're currently doing certainly can be included in the agreement. I think moving forward, I think we need to have something.
Would you like for me to put it together, or?
Well, do you have any other community entities?
I've never had.
Well, I'll ask our county attorney to,
Okay.
just, maybe exactly what your program entails and what, facilities you're using, and, just give me a scope of what y'all are doing, so we can, put it down on paper.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this year we weren't able to do the summer, this past year we weren't able to do the summer food program. But this year we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up, because we had a lot of people asking for us.
I think, the program has been very successful over the years. How many, residents do you employ with the program?
We don't, local, we have a lady in Falcon, Lo Peño, one in Siesta Shores, and we have a director, a coordinator and one director.
And the kitchen staff?
The kitchen staff, we have 3.
Okay, so you
So-
have about 10?
Total of 10, yes, sir. And
There's
they've
10
been with
jobs
us.
that our community needs, so.
And they've been with us since the very beginning, since 2018.
What type of meals do you prepare? I'm sure you have to meet USDA regulations.
We meet the USDA requirements, so it's your protein, your vegetables, your fruits, and your low-fat milk. And then for the snack.
Do you place a weekly menu out for the?
Yes, and we'll start I'm gonna get with Ms. Karen from the paper and see if she'll help us out to start print it out, and we're gonna start delivering the menu to the schools, like we did in the past.
The only thing that we have a problem when San Ignacio around is when you guys serve like the carne asada, stuff like that. It just like keeps spilling on the way over there.
We had, yes, when I stopped at, in San Ignacio to get some gas, I had a lady that I knew there that told me about that and so forth. So we're trying to readjust the menus, to see if maybe, either change the compartments or get a bowl, and then you can pour it in there with a lid. Worst case scenarios, we'll do finger foods that are in line with the USDA guidelines.
And everything looks good, okay, we go there, the kids, it's good, but every time it's something with carne asada, with the little gravy, when they get there, and it's impossible because the driver, when he goes to pick them up, it's faulty or whatever. And some of the parents are like, hi, look at this. I'm sorry, but.
No.
And that was so that currently is unavailable, or is grab and go? I could use to deliver, right? You used to.
Well, the grab and goes were,
We come in, my guys come and pick them
Oh.
up here at the
Oh,
nutrition
okay.
center.
To take to-
Yes,
Yeah.
we've been doing that since he had.
Also, we're helping also there.
Yes,
Yes.
we always pick them up.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Commissioner's been very helpful with us.
Yes, it's
getting
important,
meals.
yeah.
And I know it's a small minute of kids, but as word starts getting out, because we hadn't advertised anything since the end of the school year last year, and we're picking up, once we start advertising that and so forth, we'll start getting that major crowd again.
I think
So you're-
225 meals is good enough. 225 is a lot of meals.
What are your times?
From 4:30 till 5:30. It's just a small window. Now, if we get the snack, it'll be from 4 till 4:30. They'll get a snack, because it's gotta be a 30-minute window, and then we'll get the hot meal.
So you're confident, Mr. Hernandez, that you can get some donations for the expansion of the building, like you were mentioning?
I'm confident that I can get people to respond. As far as for a yes or a no, it'll be how they're at. with whatever they're doing with their business and so forth because of what's going on right now.
I don't think the county would turn down any donations, especially to improve a county facility, so let's do it, try it out and see how that goes and keep the group updated on that.
Okay, I appreciate that. Anything else, sir? Anybody?
Well, I guess the action would be to try to get, a written agreement, in place.
Yes, sir.
And then we'll come back and have a motion to approve it, and we'll give you the opportunity to look at it.
Yes, sir.
All right, and, yeah, reports to the court would be helpful, which one of this, maybe on a quarterly basis, just say this is how the program is going. And so, that way we can forward that information to the public and say this is, what this program is and how it's helping our community.
No, well, I'm officially retired, so this is all I'm gonna be
Okay.
doing now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So no action?
No, Commissioner, we'll develop an agreement and bring it back for consideration. Item number 12 is, to approve the imposition of optional fees calendar year, 2023. Delia Mendoza. Delia?
Yes, Judge, this is done on a yearly basis through the Texas Department of Highways.
Has anything changed in those?
No. it's the
Motion
same.
to approve, Judge, as presented.
Motion to approve, the fee schedule as presented for, TxDOT, seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Item number 13 is to transfer Cisco Hinojosa Jr. from labor/maintenance from 15-013 slot number 5 at $11.74 an hour to grapple truck operator 15-621 slot number 3 at $14.57 an hour. Motion by Commissioner Solis, seconded by Commissioner Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 14 is to transfer Jose Antonio Martinez /labor/maintenance from 15-013 slot number 2 at $10 an hour to 15-013 slot number 5 at $11.74 an hour.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 15 is to approve the hire of Angel J. Chapa Jr. as labor/maintenance in Special Water Bridge Precinct 3, 15-013 slot number 2 at $10 an hour.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve the hire of Mr. Chapa, seconded by Commissioner Garza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 16 is to approve the transfer of Juan Jose Benavides from truck driver 10-004 slot number 2 at $11.48 an hour to grapple truck operator 15-621 slot number 6 at $14.57 an hour. Motion by, motion?
Garza Mendoza.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Mendoza. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 17 is to approve the repairs to equipment in the Road and Bridge Department.
Judge, on this one, I wasn't able to get the quote in time for court. They hadn't submitted it to me, so you can recall it. and we're gonna-
What equipment is this?
What equipment is it?
This is the road and bridge equipment.
Which-
But
There's,
like what?
Well, we've got invoices, for the Dozier,
Oh, okay.
the Anderson Dozier. We've got, that we purchased from Anderson Equipment. We've got apparently a grapple truck operator that not grapple truck that needs to be serviced. I think there's some dump trucks. I
The
think
one that we
there's-
sent over to Laredo just to get it fixed up.
We've got a repair to the loader.
To the loader.
My understanding is our, belly dumps and heavy equipment is, non-inspected. We're not able to use it. So there's a lot of problems, there at the road and bridge with the equipment not being properly maintained and inspected. Yeah, I think Thursday meeting, we learned that none of the equipment can be moved.
I met with the crew leaders last week, in reference to a lot of issues that they had been calling me about. And, I told them that they could not operate the equipment if it wasn't, properly inspected.
And licensed,
So-
there's no excuse why our trucks shouldn't be licensed and inspected. So, yeah, apparently our heavy haulers can be used, our belly dumps can be used, and that's just lack of control and oversight on the department. So that's, I asked Nelly to place this item, and we just can't, let these vehicles get junked. I mean, we gotta fix them.
So I am planning to provide, I was in contact with Texas Association of Counties who provides our insurance, and they provided me some documentation, some forms that I will be implementing at the Road and Bridge, so we can have some accountability for the use of all the equipment that's gonna be used in all precincts.
I know the newer equipment that we received, or that we've been receiving requires now pins, so we're able to track through the computer system who the last operator was that used that piece of equipment. So in case anything goes wrong or there's any lack of maintenance, we'll be able to know exactly who is responsible for that. So that's gonna be a big help for us. But I guess for the next meeting, maybe you can put together something, maybe type up a list of all the invoices that are pending.
Yes,
Whatever
well,
we
that
have
was
to
the
send
plan.
out.
We had the mechanic was supposed to come by over the weekend and look over all the equipment and give us an estimate for the cost of all the repairs that we need, but they weren't able to bring it into me.
Yeah.
I think that the Ford grapple truck that's in Doggett Freightliner, they were waiting for some direction as to whether to approve the estimate or not. And then I think it had some further repairs needed at a hydraulic shop, so they can't do it all. I don't know if that's come in.
Well, I think it had been transferred over to the department that was gonna do the hydraulic work, because the previous work had already been completed, was the last thing I heard.
Yeah.
So we were waiting to get an estimate on the hydraulic work.
I haven't gotten any
We'll
estimate.
follow up with it. So Judge, motion to table on this item, Judge, since there's nothing to present on this, we'll bring it back at the next meeting.
So who is gonna inspect those trucks that really don't need repair, they just need to be inspected and?
Well, I don't think they'll pass inspection, that's the problem.
I'm not entirely sure what.
Well, how are we using those vehicles without them being inspected?
And I know that it's very important,
The
especially.
belly dumps,
precinct two.
well, I mean, we've been moving the equipment back and forth with the haul truck.
Who does commercial inspections here? Is it Mr.
Lalo.
or-
Lalo, yeah.
Okay, I guess we can take them over there and see exactly, he can tell
That's-
us what they need.
We should have never been at this point. Never should have gone to this point where, we're driving around with unsafe vehicles.
And I think that the drivers can lose their license or.
Yeah, absolutely,
or
yes,
if
and
they-
of course, the county will be in a very bad position if something happens, if an accident happens, and we're driving around with vehicles that are not inspected or licensed.
Dude, the thing is, we need to have a daily, rate rate on each vehicle.
Commissioner, now I think we're moving in a different direction, I think now that certainly it'll be under your purview, the commissioner's purview to make sure that your crew leaders are following up on that, certainly that'll be easier. We did have a shop foreman to take care of that, presently, so, we can point fingers, but really, there's no excuse for our vehicles not being inspected and licensed to drive on the road. There's no excuse for that.
We'll get Mr. Randall to inspect them and then we can go from there and see exactly what has to be corrected on that equipment. So motion to table, Judge Hernandez.
Motion to table. Item number 18 is to review status of the boat ramp project and approve invoices.
Mr. Gonzalez is not here.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez is on the road. I talked to him a few minutes ago. He's coming here.
Okay, well, I guess he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that we're gonna need him. So we'll move on to, over call number 17. And we'll move on to item number 23 is to request a $50,000 allocation to the Zapata County Boys and Girls Club from the wind farm project. I think there was a letter in the packet, Commissioner. I don't know which was addressed to you. I think the court had approved these funds.
Yeah, well, they never even approved, I just brought them by and see if,
I think the question I have is, I think on the financial condition, we did receive 2020s. We don't have 2021s.
right, when this, fiscal year started for us, it started in October 2021, so we were going with the 2020.
Yeah.
Financials or audit.
Right.
So if I wanna get the 2021 financials.
Which
that's
that should be available already, but, should be there.
Right? Is it?
I believe so, I'll
I can
double
find out, I'll
check.
find out.
Okay. So, yeah, but, they have been approved, and just as long as that information is available.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
No action on that.
No action, I think. We'll move on to consent items. We've got some line item transfers, 24, 25, and 26.
Motion move.
Second.
Motion to approve line item transfer, Commissioner Garza, second by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We got resolutions and proclamations, to approve a resolution confirming the Zapata County's commitment to providing the local 25% match for the FEMA grant for the Emergency Operations Center as requested by the Office of the Governor. As you, Mr. Corina Vargas, I guess many of us were on that conference call last week with the Office of the Governor, and the good news that those funds are coming to our county, and it'll be a significant improvement. They just want a commitment from the county that we are ready for the match. Technically, it was, well, what we thought was $1 million, up to $1 million in expenditures. So 25% match would be a $250,000 match from the county. We're finding out that now the match will be $333,334, and,
Thank you, Judge, and thank you, Commissioners. Like the Judge mentioned, we had a conference, and it was a mandatory conference, with the Office of the Governor last week. And they requested additional documents and certifications before the contract award. The award is scheduled for September 1st, so they wanted these documents soon. And the main document was a commitment that the county will contribute 25% for the grant. But like the judge said, the math is different than the regular math. The 25% is on the total cost of the project, on the $1,250,000. So somehow it comes to $333,000.
I know, I've been trying to figure exactly the arithmetic on that, Mr.
So that is the,
So where will these funds come from, Judge? Do we have it budgeted, or?
We have those monies that, were, from the American Rescue Plan, Commissioner.
Okay.
So we do have a fund balance to match these, and, so they're not gonna be budgeted in our budget, but we do have them in reserves.
yeah, and it's not there immediately, you know.
Yes.
It's a commitment that you will come out with the money. The other issue is that you don't spend all the money in the project is cheaper or less money, you have to match 25%. But in this case, Brother will, need all the money because the construction costs and some of the costs that they have been, considered, they are pretty high. Remodeling and, renovation of the building and, some of the equipment that is necessary for the operation of the, center are pretty expensive, so, we probably will use the entire amount of the budget.
According to the, this, state officials that we were on the phone at, they want to move this project along, pretty fast, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So rapidly, and, so I think we've got a lot of work to do on our end, that, they're wanting us to provide plans, building costs, and I see Mr. Gonzalez in the audience, so as the sheriff, and I think we've settled on the location, which will be the, our current county clinic. We will be doing major upgrades, to that facility, to be able to house this emergency operations center. So I guess, deadlines to meet,
Yeah.
I think they want something before 90 days.
Oh, by the end of the week, we're going to have the documents that they requested, because they want to have all that information, before September 1st.
Right.
On the development of the project, Mr. Gonzalez already conducted a survey of the property and the site. He has been doing some schematics, and of course, we have been, consulting with the office of the sheriff for their, requirements. So it's moving along.
Okay.
The other issue is the environmental review. I have been working on the environmental review. It's not completed, but that's, part of the, project.
I think it should be easier since it's an existing building.
That's correct, but we have to go to the whole exercise of considering all the elements of the
Environmental.
procedure. So, we'll appreciate your approval of the
Judge, motion to approve the
Second
resolution
motion.
for the 25% match, obviously coming from the American Rescue Plan Fund.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir.
18.
Item number 18, 18 is to review status of the boat ramp project and approve invoices. So this is a Parks and Wildlife grant that,
Correct, yeah. With your permission, I would like to make some comments. Basically, the report is from the engineer on the work that he has been doing. The grant is administered and overseen by Parks and Wildlife, but the funding is from the Department of the Interior. It's a federal grant. So that took a long time. I don't know if you remember when they informed us or notified of the funding and the time that the county received the contract and the judge signed. The day was May this year, but it was effective August last year.
yeah, it's
So
it's
this
been
is
a
the
gap there.
as a matter of fact, we are requesting right now, we are requesting an extension. The engineer will report that he will have his plan ready in a couple of months, but, the coordinator of this project recommended that we request a 4-year extension, even if we don't need the time to make sure that, all the reviews and approval, by the different agencies and the environmental clearance completed. Manuel will report that, we need approval from the, International Land and Water Commission, from the Corps of Engineers,
Yes.
from the Department of the Interior.
There's a,
everybody.
yeah, I have
So
many.
that's very time consuming and,
What's the amount of the grant? The amount of the grant?
104,000, because this is only for planning and engineering.
Okay.
And, we have to have that completed, to apply for the construction. See, technically was approved for the whole thing, but they,
750.
committed only, the planning and engineering.
The total 750?
750,000, yeah, that's the total for the construction, including the construction cost. You will remember that the proposal had, fish cleaning station, restrooms,
More lighting.
shelter for the
Lighting
people.
and boat ramp extension or,
For the boat ramp extension and the, new boat ramp, there is a proposal for a brand new.
I guess it's a question for the engineer, could we, since the lake is at historic close, could we get an exemption to move on the construction of the boat ramp?
That would be the ideal thing to, since the lake is really low, to be able to start, maybe some construction on the lower portion of the lake, so that if the water does come up, we already have that section done. We can put in a request for that and see if they'll allow us to
That would
extend
be
that.
something to-
If I can pass out, I have a lady out there.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez.
Thank you, sir.
Does it have a layout here?
Sir?
No, there's two there, too. Okay, so on the, right, one was mine. So on the layout, if you have the existing boat ramp that's, you have the existing boat ramp that's on the east side, as you're looking at it, I guess, like this, up and down. The existing boat ramp is this one that's down here, and currently, that one is out of the water as well. So we'd like to propose to add a section there that's missing, and, I think we had done something like a year ago or something like that.
Yeah, the commission did it with your budget, I believe.
Right, so, and then, on the proposed ramp, it's gonna be coming into the parking area and it's gonna be going straight down. I presented a preliminary, ramp that, the grade that we have in there, it is less steep than the existing grade, than the existing ramp. The existing ramp is a little bit sharper. This one has a longer way to go, so it's a little flatter. So it should feel not as steep going down into the water, and hopefully we can, utilize that a lot easier for.
And the depth, I'm just, I guess it should be about the same depth at the very tail end of that knee ramp.
Yes, well, it's,
I just,
well,
would
yeah.
it improve, like at our current levels?
What we're proposing is that when they build it, that they also dredge some.
Okay.
Some of the silt that has, developed there in that area, so that when boats do come in, they don't bottom out going into the water.
Apparently, the deepest part, and I think there's a ramp that's still operational there, a small ramp, concrete ramp, that's on the point. Because I'm just thinking that, I mean, it is, the grade is a lot plainer.
Yes.
But I think we'll be out of the water before we're out of the water on the old boat ramp.
It's, when I looked at our 2002 aerials and looked at where elevations were back then, and there was water still there in that area.
Okay.
And currently, today, there's water there as well. Like, this is a current survey.
Okay.
So there's water there in that spot, and we're getting like, about the same time as we were back in 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
So we will have some water in that area. We could add that other one, the little one that's there, as a secondary ramp, if we have a
I
big
think we
tournament.
could work on that one somewhat, I mean,
Yeah, we could,
I
there's.
mean, that's the one that's being used right now.
Yeah, because the other ones, well, the other one that's there is.
It's out of the water.
It's out of the water, and there's not enough depth for the boats. It's
So
just
maybe
deep.
widen that emergency ramp, I guess, and like, widen it and improve that one.
We noticed that one of the times where we had a tournament when, there was maybe 160, 180, tournament, participants, and it does take,
Sure, no, this, I mean, it would be nice to have two, major ramps, but
We
currently
can-
the one we're using, I think we can,
we can
address that.
expand it,
Yeah.
make it wider, and also utilize that one as well.
Yeah.
It-
Just to have three.
Right, to have three, just in case.
Yeah, cause that way we can just expand it on that bottom part.
Yeah.
And, it wouldn't be
It wouldn't be major.
change at all, no. We can leave the road as is and add just a path to it. And we are adding, some additional restrooms up at the top by the parking area, closer to the parking. I think sometimes, people that are using the boat ramp don't realize that there are restrooms there, but they're just too far in, where the park is at. We'd like some for the people that are fishing to have some that are closer proximity. And so we indicated there on the corner. The other thing is the, fish cleaning station. We would have to put something that would be flexible so that we can move it closer to the water's edge, and then as the water's coming up, we're able to relocate it, to other spots. We will be adding some trails in there, and then maybe some little shelters.
What about up here in the parking lot, could we do something for like the trophy shots? For like the fish that they catch, so you can hang and
The
take a picture?
backdrop.
Yeah, kinda like a backdrop, and you
We
can see
could
the
do
lake in the
something
back.
where the existing canopy is at. That's usually where they can do like the presentations for the winners on the tournament. We can maybe put in, like a structure there next to the canopy so that they can put their fish there and they can take
I
their
was thinking
pictures.
kinda like in the parking lot where it's right there,
Mhm.
facing the water, so you can have the water. in the
Oh, in the
background.
background?
You can have the lake in the background too. We
So
have that
as-
asphalt on top.
As long as we do it on that top part where it says parking lot and you see that black line.
Right, right.
Anything in that area, we're able to build is above the flood zone, so then that whole area is, able to be utilized for construction or for building on it. But that would be, I guess, for a background, yeah, that would work pretty good. yeah, those are items that we can add and
It's an
won't add a lot to
expensive-
the.
it'd be inexpensive.
So that is the,
I see a dock, proposed dock.
we do have a proposed dock, we have an existing dock that we're planning on extending on it. And we are proposing another dock so that we have one for each boat ramp. And
Yeah.
as the, people move their boat, they can dock it and then move their trailer out of the
I
way.
think that'd be a very good addition to this program.
A lot of the fishermen, go by themselves, so they put the truck in, they leave it running, and then they move their boat out and then.
What's the timeline, cause we get the question, okay, so y'all applied for this money years ago.
For-
When can the public kind of, expect to see some construction on this? What do you
For
think?
us-
An estimate, I know we.
To be finished with this, we will probably be done with this, like, within this next month. And then we'll submit it to IBWC and all the other agencies for reviews and comments. Then, usually their comment period is, I'm guessing about 2 months to get back to us. Then we just address the comments, request the additional funding, because I guess they made it in 2 parts. We
Right.
requested all the funding up front, but they allocated only partial funding. And then, so I'm guessing it's gonna be probably like.
6 months.
About a year, yeah, to get the funding, like, and then to get it into construction. But if we're able to get, maybe a request so that we can do some of it on the bottom part, that would be.
Okay, we'll try. So we've got an invoice, Commissioners?
Yeah, motion to approve the invoice, Judge, for $12,000 for Premier Engineering.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza to approve the invoice, the first, number 1, for $12,000, seconded by Commissioner Solis. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item number 19 is to review status of Zapata County and Central Shores raw water intake and approve invoices. The river level really dropped this morning, so, I don't know if your water guys noticed, but, we had a surge in the river last week, but
It's gone back down.
today it's really low. I don't know if our pumps are still operational.
Yes, sir, they are, yeah, that was just, search from.
We noticed the surge when it came in from the Laredo range.
Yes.
And they did, it made about a 2.5 foot difference.
Right.
At the lake, and then it receded pretty quickly. So the platform that we put out there, we're planning on putting in concrete on that. We haven't put the concrete yet, but now that it's gone back down, we may, look to proceed with that operation. I do have some invoices that were submitted to Roxy, but I didn't get a copy from her.
Is Monica?
On the ones for Siesta Shores, I had some that were submitted to them and I presented at the last meeting. What's that?
Invoices that we submitted to Roxy for the Zapata intake.
Yeah, it was for the work done on that jetty, that rock jetty that we,
Yes, they were done Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
before we approved the last one.
Yes.
Or after,
After we presented it in court on Monday.
Right.
They were not included because we had already cut them off
Okay.
at a certain date, and then, so it just includes those 3 days for that. We have some that we got from Sister Shores on some of the materials that they've purchased, and on one of the materials, they asked for at least half of it, so that they could send the materials. They haven't requested the other half yet, so I have, from different contractors or different suppliers, I have a list. And it's, have Martinez, Electrical. They were assisting Siesta Shores, and I have the invoices to give to Mr. Gonzalez for, moving the raw water pumps. They moved that raw water pump several times as the water was going down, and they relocated it to different locations, get the, I guess, a little deeper sections. They also had, they have, 1, 2, 3, 4 invoices. And one of them was for $49.45.91, and that was for moving and clearing the electrical line.
Roxanne, y'all should have them in your packets, the invoices, and these are for you, so.
Okay, thank you.
So, I think I know we made I guess memorandums with Justice Shores in the past, when they need our help, to secure some funding. I think on approving this one voices, I'd like to have something in place, to that effect, from the board stating that, this of course is some advance funding to help them out, but, we certainly,
We can have the attorney draft up a formal memorandum, so that gets submitted to the county, and then the county attorneys can.
yes, I think,
We can have something in a more formal type of, setting. We did present it to their board, these invoices first, so that they could review and approve them, so they've been approved by their board.
they just don't have the funds to pay them.
They don't have the funds at this time. They are requesting for funding, through the USDA application, so that they could get reimbursed for those, but,
And how likely are they to get reimbursed for those expenses, Mr. Gonzalez?
it's pretty likely that they're gonna get reimbursed on those, because, they've committed to helping them out with the drought conditions that they have, same as the commitment that they made to Zapata County. So it looks pretty.
I think it's a done.
It's
We're gonna
pretty
get the
favorable
funding.
that they're gonna get funded. So both the county and CSS.
What is the total for the invoices?
The total for the invoices is $123,314.86. And we have invoices from MTC Construction, which is Miguel Martinez. We have one invoice from Guzman and Juarez Backhoe Service for $2520. We have one invoice from RGB Industrial for $1,800. And we have one from Ferguson Materials, one invoice for $1,500. And we have 4 invoices from ISCO, which is a pipe supplier. They provided the poly pipe and then the 6-inch pipe and the fittings and flanges to connect that. They were like the major ones, and the cable, the electrical cable, that came from MTZ, well, through a supplier through MTZ. That was $68,254.72, and ISCO had a total of $35,000.
So what was the total again?
$123,000.
314?
$314.86.
So with the exception of the material, all the labor were local companies?
For the exception of one, yes, they were all local companies. One for $1,800. It was a valve that they had to switch out, and they switched it out in like during the nighttime operation where it was leaking, and we had a contractor working there on another project, and we had them go and fix that valve, but they only had the one invoice.
Judge, I'll make a motion that we approve the total expenses of $123,314.86, also pending a memorandum of understanding from the legal department.
I'll second the motion.
And Commissioner, if you can add, we have an invoice as well for Zapata and for Sister Shores. We combine them both into one invoice, but I guess it's one invoice, but it's separated for half for Zapata and half for
And what
Sister
is the
Shores.
amount?
And it's for 10,000,
Uh-huh.
5,000 for Zapata and 5,000 for Sister Shores. And it is for the surveying that we've already prepared, and the construction support and inspection that we've been providing.
Mayor Jane, I'll modify my motion and I'll add those $10,000, so, it'll be $133,314.86.
Thank you, Commissioner.
I'll second the motion.
So we'll, have a motion and a second to approve the documents, Mr. Gonzalez. I mean, we'll release the funds, and I think we need to have a formal agreement
Yeah.
with.
Sure, that's fine.
And that was in my motion, Judge,
Yeah,
pending
okay.
the MOU from the legal department.
And I'm sure we're still gonna get more invoices, or is this pretty much it?
There'll be some more, same for Zapata and for them, but, we've done, right now, we've already purchased the materials with this, and to be able to move as far as to the old, bridge that's out there, the old 83 bridge, we're able to, once the cable is just ordered, hasn't come in yet, but as soon as it comes in, we'll be able to move our intake structure all the way down to that spot. Then we'll formally request some additional funds through USDA for, we wanna put in a, backwash at the filters. I called the judge and mentioned it that, the excess sediment that's coming from the lake, from the low levels at the pump that is pumping, is causing the filters to clog much faster than they normally would, and they're backwashing like nonstop. So then there's a scour system to, clean out that excess silt. We're gonna put that through the application. We're not gonna request it through the county, but that's one of the items that will, so there'll be some other items that'll be coming in.
Okay. And I guess for Salinas, once we get, the MOU in place, be coming from our fund balance to forward, I think, you know, we need to help our currently our residents at the shore, but more than likely that these will be reimbursable, to them and then forwarded back to us, to the county proper. So, got a motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item, number 20 is, to review status of the cemetery survey work and approve invoices. Mr. Gonzalez, I know we've been working on trying to, just, I guess, to plot out the new sections,
Yes.
and part of the
On the,
remaining, area in, I guess, on the second phase.
what we did is, we went out and plotted out the areas that were still available within the cemetery. There's a few areas that we've also already done that's not, I guess we haven't, provided them on the map yet, but if you look over by Oak Street,
Yeah.
we have the corners there, so that triangular, where it's point 407, 408, and 405, there, that whole area there is also usable for, additional plots. And so we've added that already. And then I was gonna suggest that maybe towards the extreme, east part of the cemetery, which is this part, I guess, on this end.
Yeah.
You see Oak Street up on the top, and then it's this part right here. These small little areas, I was gonna suggest that the roads that are running north and south, and not all the roads, just maybe one road at the very tip, we could probably close the road and add, maybe about another 20 or 30 slots there.
I mean, and so all the plots will still have access to them, right?
Yes, because there are smaller triangular areas, so if you just remove the north-south, section road.
Yeah, and whatever you think would increase the number of plots, that would still be workable.
It will increase the number of plots significantly on that. We also, already marked one row over by the soldiers' camp.
Okay.
So we could have it already ready, available, just in case we run out on our existing. It's not so much that they're being sold rapidly, so then they're being, once they're being sold and they're being paid for, then they're now occupied. So they're not necessarily that there's somebody in there, but it's already
Yeah, they're being
purchased.
sold, yes.
Yes,
So
so.
we don't have a limit, right, Mr. Salinas, on the number of plots that any person can purchase?
No, we've tried, Judge, but, they'll just send another relative.
Well,
I mean,
are
I'm
we-
gonna say, you know, we can sell you 2 or 4, but then, their daughter will come in and take another 2 or 3, then the son
But
will
we're
come in.
not reserving without payment, right?
No.
Oh,
No.
good, because then we run into the problems we had last time. where-
Yeah, they're being bought.
They're being paid, and so it's, you know, as long as they're being paid for, I think that we'll be okay on that side. So that's, we've been working closely with Mr. Salinas' office to, get, I guess, all the areas identified.
So how many plots are on all these, what you've identified and mapped?
On, let's say where you see unnamed areas,
Yes.
there is 192 in that one right there.
Okay.
And then the triangular ones, they're, I guess, about a quarter of that, so it's about 50. So then you have
Side.
three or four of those, so you have maybe about another 200 on
Okay.
those 3 sides. So then you have about 400, and then there's the one that's up by Oak Street on the top where
You're gonna
see-
survey that too?
Yes, and then that one is about
Probably another 100, 200?
that one's about another 80 or 100. Yeah, it's a little larger, so it does, and there's no, like, nobody has occupied any of the slots on that one, so it's still available. I mean, they may have already been purchased.
Yeah, I think we should,
Yeah. So we're trying to occupy everything that we can on the existing before we move to the next area.
And we don't wanna leave any unused, area.
Correct. And so then that's where we're at, and I do have,
What are the
we
invoices you
have-
have?
yes, I do. I have an invoice that was a previous invoice when we had done originally, when we had done the layout, the original layout, and that one was for $2,500.
The original layout
When I
of
say
the new
ori-
section?
Of the new section, yes,
Okay.
where the soldiers are at. And then we changed that, and then all the changes and everything else, we built it to the soldiers' camps.
Okay.
But we have a layout where we have a concrete area where we're gonna have a covering and that, and then we have this new one is for $41.92. So I guess it's $66.92.
Motion to approve that for $6,692 for Premier Engineering.
Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Solis, and Salinas, this will be coming from the cemetery fund? Yeah,
There's
we'll
money.
pay out of the cemetery fund,
There's
I
money
think
there.
we have monies there. So we got a motion and a second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number 21 is to review status of the Falcon Mesa paving and approved invoices.
On the Falcon Mesa paving, we've, the plans and the specs are ready to go out for bids, and Mr. Esser has already submitted for the environmental review. We've gotten already comments back. I think we're gonna be ready to go out for bids probably within a month. He's already, put out some notices from the comments that we had. So that, on that project, we had submitted an invoice previously for, 11, but I don't think it had been processed, so, and then we have another one for 11, so I guess it's 22, including the one that.
22,000?
22
So do-
total, but with the one that we have
Do
provided.
we have it, which ones are they?
I'll check that first one, see if it was processed or not.
Okay.
Motion move.
Motion by Commissioner Garza, seconded by Commissioner Solis, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those are which streets again for the public?
It's for Cardinal Lane and Crane.
Cardinal and Crane.
Cardinal and Crane, those are the ones that are doing with the Falcon Mesa, CDBG funding. The other one that you have in that area is, Pelican, and that one's being done through the TxDOT, funding.
Arnold Crane has.
Okay, so you'll be addressing three streets there.
And those are two streets that are not paved right now, so it's gonna be an improvement.
Yeah, it'll be a big help.
Everyone's excited. We were-
Item number 22 is to review status of the Florida's drainage improvements project and approve invoices.
The Florida's drainage improvements, Judge, is the one that, Mr. Juarez and Mr. Guzman are working on over here on Florida Street. They have, poured another section of that retaining wall. Now they're lacking the center and the two wings on the side to complete that project. They're roughly about 50% complete. There's an invoice from them for $1,500, $1,500, and there's one from us from $500.
Motion to
Motion
approve for $2,000, Judge, for that.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Mendoza, seconded by Commissioner Garza to approve the invoices for the Florida's drainage projects. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Gonzalez.
Motion by Commissioner Garza to adjourn, seconded by Commissioner Solis. We are now adjourned.